What's up, guys? RV Tech Pro. Today we're gonna do some updates, Q&A. Updates, Q&A. We'll start with the comments, okay? So, first comment is from Ray Jones a couple hours ago. He says he would have gotten the wide mouth set. No offense, but I would have gotten the wide mouth set. None taken. I already have wide mouth snap-on adjustable wrenches. So besides that, the wide mouth set is only a 2-piece set. So you and there is that set. So the wide mouth set is only 2 wrenches. So that would not have served my purpose because I use a lot of sizes, and dealing with gas fittings and things like that, you also need a backup wrench. So you need a wrench to fit the fitting that you're working with, and you need a wrench to back up what you're working with so that you don't mess up things. So you always got to use a backup wrench on those. So and also on the wide mouth wrenches, just pull one out here. A couple of things. So this is going to be the this is going to be a 10, and I'll grab a 10 out of my set. Okay, so the 10 wide mouth, and get what you need for your application. But so bag of hardware out of the way. So as you can see, there's a big difference in these. One that makes a difference for me is, like I said, I already have a wide mouth. Who was that? I already have those, but even if I didn't have them, I would have still bought the set that I bought because that's what I needed, and I wanted the USA made wrenches. The previously to this, the wide mouths are only made in Spain, but as I said, I do have those too because I bought these for a specific task. And other than that, like I said, it's only a 2-piece set, whereas the USA made snap-on wrenches are a 4-piece set. And as you can see, the wide mouth wrenches do not have the Flank Drive Plus feature. And one of the major reasons I bought this set is because I wanted the Flank Drive Plus feature, as you mentioned in your comment. So thanks for watching, Ray. Good comment. He prefers the wide mouth ones for versatility. I would have to assume that you can use them for more stuff, and side-by-side comparison for you guys. So this is what Ray's talking about. So the 10-inch wide mouth can almost fit the 10-inch standard inside its opening because it goes to 40, 45, about 45 millimeters, whereas the standard ones stop at 25. So that's what he's talking about, guys. So if you're buying the standard wrench, the opening is going to be different. Snap-on does sell, they only have two of these, and one of them is shorter. So yeah, so that's what Ray's talking about, guys. He's talking about these wrenches right here, the wide mouth ones. All right, moving right along. Mr. William says that he agrees about not having a MacBook Pro in the field. His got messed up. Yeah, these computers are not, man, this isn't a tough book, and like you're saying, I don't take mine out in the field. That's why I don't like doing that chassis work out in the field, because you need your computer. I have an iPad that I take with me, but the navigation and the screen size, it's a lot easier for me on the computer. Plus I can print those diagrams out and take them to the car and it doesn't matter if the paper gets messed up. So I am with you, William, about not taking your MacBook Pro out. Clayton wants to know, do they work? He's talking about the Snap-on remote hose clamp pliers. Yes. And Eddie Tap says, any news on the 3/8 locking flex head release date? Snap-on has, I'm assuming he's talking about the in the Synergy ratchets. I don't believe they're doing the locking flex heads in the Synergy ratchets. Based on the foam that I received, there's no spaces for the locking. Looks like they're just doing the standard flex heads and the fixed heads on the 100 tooth ratchets. And it doesn't look like they're going to be going through the whole line. Looks like they just created a new line called the Synergy ratchet line. But as you saw on this video, the last locking flex head, which has mixed reviews, some people don't like it, some people like it, is that one, the new locking flex head design, which is kind of more like the Matco or Husky, kind of uses that locking type mechanism. So I don't believe that we have any locking flex heads coming in the 100 tooth Synergy line. All right. Ryan says, thanks for the Hyundai tutorial with the thermostat case. He's gonna be doing that soon. Yep, it's a common repair. I'm glad that it helped you. And not a hard job, just time consuming. But if you take the time out for it, it is a enjoyable experience. And Stefan's, I don't know, but I'm not good with pronouncing a lot of stuff. But Steph is saying that he liked the review on the Little Giant Epic ladder. I'm glad you liked it. I try to just kind of show you guys how the stuff is, if it works, if it doesn't work. So I'm glad that that was able to help you. And he also liked the review on the lights, which I like that too. And David Parker feels that the Little Giant accessories look sketchy. Okay, they work fine for me. I don't work for Little Giant, and they're not sponsoring my channel or anything, but I believe I gave all the information about them in the video, and I think it was pretty complete. All right. Any info on the 100 tooth 1/2 inch drive ratchets? That's what Matt wants to know. I don't have any news on that. I don't even know if they're going to be doing that in the 1/2 inch drive. I think they need to fix the back drag on the 3/8 before they attempt to do any more. And from what my dealer is telling me, that problem will be fixed in the rebuild kits. So Snap-on's not gonna redo the ratchets. What they're gonna do is they'll probably include a different spring in the rebuild kit. So he says more than likely the rebuild kits will address the problem with the back drag on the 100 tooth ratchets. Makes it easy for the dealer and for the customer. So it's not gonna be a warranty item, but if you just want it, then you can just get the rebuild kit that comes with the different spring to help with the back drag. So that's the word that I got on that. And Mike was saying that my dealer gets all the new stuff. He gets some of it. I think Snap-on based on sales. So if you got a dealer and people are paying him and he's able to sell a lot and he's doing numbers, all the guys that do over $1 million in sales, they get the stuff first. So that's kind of how Snap One does that. The guys who sell the most, they give them the stuff first. Not a bad policy. If you have to pick someone to get it first, they're going to reward their top sellers. Okay, Steph is giving me some props on the Equinox when we did the CV axles on that one. And I'm glad you liked that video. Always like making those DIY vehicles to help people save money from going to the shops when you can do it for yourself, or help someone else. If you have all these tools, like a lot of my viewers, we have all these tools and stuff, and you can help people in your church or indigent individuals who you know they just really can't afford to get that car fixed, and they need that car to get to work so they can feed their kids and they're already struggling. It's nice to be able to help people out. All right. George Booney says, AES Wave makes the U active tests, you activate. So he's talking about the video where I made where I made this little harness, which is basically, I needed a tool that I could not find anywhere. I had to order it, and I needed something that day. So I made a solution for myself, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool. If you're a DIYer, you can make this, and, you know, especially if you just want to use it one time, you can make this harness to have your relay plugged in remotely and give yourself a place to test the stuff that you're using. And he was letting me know that, hey, there's another tool that does that. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. So I'm assuming he has it. I don't know. But here's the link for that. Let's take a look. So this is that kit. I think this is it. Yeah, there's the master kit. It's $314. And I don't quite know how it works, but I guess it's going to be something like this harness based on the way they have all those little, yeah. So you have some points where you can do some testing. So it looks pretty cool. It kind of has like a dummy relay right there. There's like the style that I was working with, allows you to do some testing. And then I guess it plugs into this or something. I don't quite know how that works. The one that I know about is the Lao, which I did order, and I'll tell you why. I ordered this kit simply because I don't want to damage the socket, because like on the vehicle that I was working on, just one time, like if you're doing it on your vehicle and it's just one time, that's fine. I do work on vehicles and things, so I could get some use out of this tool. But the sizes of the blades, right? The thickness of that is different on the different relays. A lot of them are that thickness, but some of them aren't, like the one I was working on. And I don't ever want to take away the tightness of the socket so that the thing won't pass the drag test and you have a loose connection. So that's the problem if you don't have the right terminals, which I didn't. I just had the standard spade style, and just so happened the vehicle I was working on was using the smaller ones. So the thickness of the blades was thinner than what I was using to test. So of course I just didn't push it in far, and I got the job done. I was able to get the, which is, you know, but I wouldn't use that repeatedly over and over, knowing that that could cause a problem. So what did I do? Well, I just bought the proper kit, since I know that I would be doing that repair again, most likely. So on a different vehicle. But yes, that you activate master kit looks pretty sweet. They also have like this is a great company, guys. If I worked on vehicles a lot, I would probably get their advanced test lead kits. which is pretty sweet. I've been eyeing it for over a year, and I want it. It's about $300. I almost ordered it the other night, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, I just ordered that relay kit, and that's basically what I need. But they have something called the U-test, which is basically a really nice set of leads that comes in a kit. This advanced terminal kit. And I've worked on a couple campers that I could have used it. I probably will end up buying it. But maybe in the last 2 years, I've needed it 4 times. So that's kind of getting close to me needing to buy it. I'll see how this year goes. If I need it more than twice this year, I'll just buy it. If I need it again this year, I'll probably just buy it. And it's a good kit, and you can look it up, check it out. All right. The B says, does this have TCM programming? I think there's a big misconception between programming and coding. ScanTools code, you can change predetermined values, you can reconfigure things, you can change configuration files, but when it comes down to programming, you need a J2534 pass-through box and a laptop. So I don't think you do any real programming on the ScanTools. So what's the coding capabilities of it? I don't know. You'd have to do a little research on that for the specific vehicle that you're talking about, because even if it could code a TCM on one vehicle, it still may not do it on another vehicle. My sister drives a Maserati, and my other sister drives a Nissan Juke. So if it does it on the Juke, does that mean it's going to do it on the Maserati? Probably not. So it's going to be vehicle specific. So that is a good question, but that'll be a question for the Icon team to see if what it could do. But I don't think you're going to be putting factory software. So like when you get an ECU, a blank ECU, you got a brand new ECU, it's blank, it doesn't have any software on it, and you need to load the say Chevrolet, because I got a Chevy. Well, no ScanTool is going to do that for you. You're going to have to connect to Chevy's servers and use, back in the day, like Tech 2 or whatever. You got to use their stuff and a pass-through, a JBox is what I call it. And that is programming a blank module. When you just want to do some configuration changes, that is different. You have an ECU that already has a software on it, and you want to change some values, like you want to remove the governor or change tire sizes and things like that. Well, that's just coding. All right. Anthony says, thanks for explaining a cheaper way to do this. And he's talking about this. And yes, this is a much cheaper way to do that, especially if you just need to do it one time. You're trying to save yourself some money. And if you have access to all the different connectors that gives you the different pins, you probably can order them, like the really thin ones, then, that would be even more awesome. I just have the regular thickness, so I wasn't able to do it like that. But yes, it would be a total viable solution if you could get the smaller, the thinner spade connectors that are on the Chevys that use that old Chevy relay, from 10 years ago. All right, let's see. Okay, Chrysler technician, he likes that video. And then Guy is saying that the split beams are fairly easy to calibrate at home. Okay, good to know. I did notice those little filled in screws that kind of have like a glue or something in it. I'm pretty sure that's like for the calibration. I have never calibrated a torque wrench at home, so I don't know how to do that. And Tony gave us props for having a good video on that Snap-on tool haul, and so did Steph. And then Mr. Russo is letting us know, do not keep the batteries in those torque wrenches. He's talking about the digital Snap-on torque wrenches. I bought a 3-piece foam set of those, and I did not have the batteries in them, as you saw in the video. And he's saying, hey, don't leave them in there. Put the batteries in the thing, use it, and then take them out, because they're gonna drain the batteries and kill them. Now, I did mention in the video that I would be, and I've been shopping for them, some of those USB-C rechargeable batteries. So I've already sourced out an 8-pack of the USB-C rechargeable lithium batteries, and that's what I'm going to be using in those torque wrenches. That can come in really handy, guys, especially if you don't want to keep taking the batteries out, especially if you use it a lot and you set like a program to certain, like you have memory slots and you want to program the 10 top settings that you use the most, and you don't want to have to keep redoing that. You guess you leave the batteries in there if you got those rechargeable ones, and then swap them out if they die, when they die. According to Mr. Russo, they are going to die. So y'all keep that in mind. And then he's saying about the adjustable wrenches on soft nuts and bolts and fittings, they will strip them, stay away from hydraulics. Now, I would have to disagree about that. I do work on a fair bit of hydraulics on the campers, and I have not had a problem with that. And one of my favorite, and a lot of the guys, when I was in the shop, which is how I got introduced to this pair, the PWZs, and the guys always, specifically bought these for working on hydraulics. And I've heard from before I bought them, I was like, yeah, these are great for hydraulics. And they have, of course, it's kind of like a pipe wrench, and got the teeth in them. And I hadn't had a problem with them, so I guess that's all based on what you're working on and your experiences with them. But I specifically, and I use these when I'm dealing with hydraulics. That's why I bought them. And you can even see where it still has like piped open stuff on them. But let's get an old pair. So what he's talking about, guys, is if you look really closely inside of these, you see that gold material? Well, as I was saying earlier, these do bite in. So it's gonna bite into that, but it doesn't round them off or anything like that. It's gonna bite into them, just like a Right Grip Pro 2.0. Great wrenches, great grip. Any wrench that has any type of grip feature, they're going to bite into a fastener. So that's what he's talking about, guys. I hadn't had any real problem of any real concern in my last 5 or 6 years working on these fittings, and I keep like a gigantic bag of those fittings in the truck, hydraulic fittings, that is. But I hadn't had a problem with it. But with anything, I guess that was his experience on that. I have not had the same experience with them. But like I showed you inside the jaws, that gold stuff is a lot of the finish coming off of those brass fittings. But at the end of the day, I always get them off without a problem and with only minimal damage, just like on my RBRT wrenches and things like that. Anything that has a anti-slip feature is going to leave those marks. Some do a better job than others not leaving the mark. All right. And Rob the Aviator wants that foam. Holler at your Snap-on guy and tell him you want that foam. He probably has one on his truck somewhere. If you had to, if he does a lot of sales, if they bought the inventory, so how they get those foams is if you bought a whole lot of inventory, you know, if you jumped on those wrenches when they came out and you bought a certain amount, they also send you that foam. So that's for the dealer. All right. Sparky Arc says, great practical review. Lots of accessories. Very interested in the Vito bags. Cool stuff. All right. I'm going to do another video on the Vito bags, on my updates. I have them out already. And after I finish this video, I'll be doing some more stuff on the Vito bags. They are awesome. And I love them. And Mr. Aussie says, speaking of the Scamazon video, I guess he didn't, I don't know. He says, was there actually anything wrong with the product or just missing the packaging? Well, if you watched that whole video, you would have received that information. I went over the problems that was wrong with the product in the video. So if you go back and watch that video, you will see what was actually wrong. But since he brought it up, and I might say this, listen guys, when you're buying something new, even if there were not anything wrong with it and it didn't come in the packaging, send it back. Do not keep it, because if you ever need to warranty out the product or send it back because it stops working 2-3 weeks later and you're within your warranty period and you try and send it back without the packaging, they may not accept it. Try that at Walmart. They're going to want the packaging, bro. So, but while we're on that, I'm going to show you what I purchased. So last purchase, you know, February 17th, I bought this product, which is the CFP 301. And as you can see, has a nice touchscreen display. You know, when the product is not on, there are no numbers or icons, and you have this nice little button. You see that? Okay. So guys, here's a problem with like taking that mindset of, oh well, it looks like it works, and it doesn't seem like anything wrong with it. They just didn't give me the packaging. I'll just keep it. Well, you got to ask yourself, well, why didn't they give me the packaging? Let's take a look at something else. All right. Where are you? Okay. Here is a picture of that product in the box. But me sending it back. When you buy a product like this, it comes in OEM packaging. It doesn't come like this. Now take a really close look at what we have here. Is anybody catching what I'm catching? It's not even the same model number, okay? This does not have a touchscreen. It's not even the same product. Someone bought the high-end model that I ordered, the touchscreen, and sent it back with an old model. So they bought a cheaper model and sent it back in without the packaging, and what do you know? So it's not even the same product. So as far as, was there anything wrong with it? Well, I'd have to say that's something pretty big that's wrong with it, besides the stuff that I mentioned in the video, which, like I said, we went over everything that was wrong with it in the actual video. So moving right along, but Tanis got it right. He knew what was going on. Looks like he got sent a return from someone else. And he knows about the Ninja products, and he has them, and he's switching the stuff out. I've been buying a lot of their stuff too, Tanis, and I thank you for the comment. And yes, that's what it was. It was a return. It was a scam return because, like I said, besides the stuff that we mentioned in the video, It was not even the same product. It was the older model. So guys, if you order something and you know it's supposed to be in OEM packaging, which most things are, send it back. Do not keep a used product if you paid for a new product. Don't keep it. So that's what we got, guys. Updates, like I said, on the wrenches. One thing I did want to note about these wrenches is one of them is like defective. You might have noticed me shaking the wrenches like this as I was opening them and taking them out. That's because I'm listening for this. You hear that? That's excessive and egregious slop in the manufacturing. Here's my other 8-inch, the one that I've had for a while. It's why it's so dirty and use nothing. So I'll be sending that one back because it has too much play in the draw. And when you're paying what we're paying for these things, I'm not keeping it, even if it doesn't affect performance. Does that all that slop affect performance? I don't know. Don't plan to find out, because when I pay $107 for an adjustable wrench, it needs to be right and tight. And this is an old one that I've used a heck of a lot, and it doesn't have slop. This is a brand new one that hadn't been used, fresh out of the box, and has a lot of slop in it, and the rest of them don't. So that's defective and it's going back. Not worried about it because I know Snap-on guy's gonna take care of me. That's what we got, guys. RV Tech Pro out.